Let's dive into the heart of Meteor Garden, the Taiwanese drama that swept across Asia in 2001 and became a cultural juggernaut, particularly in the Philippines, where it sparked the Asian novela craze. At the center of this whirlwind is Dong Shancai, portrayed by Barbie Sue, a character who became a symbol of resilience and defiance for a generation. Among the many moments that cemented Shancai's iconic status, one scene stands out. The stairwell scene in the 2001 Taiwanese version, where Dao Mingxi, sick and vulnerable, falls asleep on Shancai's lap. This moment, drenched in emotional weight and unspoken tenderness, is often cited as one of the most killing-inducing scenes in the series, a perfect blend of vulnerability, connection, and the slow burn of a romance that captivated millions. Let's unpack the scene, explore its layers, and invite you to reflect on why it resonates so deeply, while keeping things interactive with questions to spark your own memories and thoughts. Picture this. It's 2003 in the Philippines, and every afternoon, households are glued to ABS-CBN, waiting for Meteor Garden's 4:30 p.m. time slot. The theme song, Ching Fei Da Yi by Harlem blares through the TV, and you're rushing home from school or work, maybe even yelling at your jeepney driver to step on it, just so you don't miss a second. Can you recall that feeling? That electric anticipation? Maybe you were one of the kids sporting Shancai's signature pigtails, or swooning over F4 posters plastered on your bedroom wall. If you were there, what was it about Meteor Garden that had you hooked? If you're newer to the fandom, imagine stepping into that early 2000s craze. What would have pulled you in? The stairwell scene happens early in the series, when Shancai and Dao Mingxi, Jerry Yen, are still more enemies than lovers. Shancai, the poor scholarship student at the elite Ingda Academy, is constantly at odds with F4, the group of rich, powerful boys led by the brash and spoiled Dao Mingxi. He's been bullying her, slipping red cards into her locker, a signal for the entire school to torment her. Yet in this moment, the dynamic shifts. A storm traps them in a stairwell, and Dao Mingxi, usually so arrogant, is sick, feverish, and vulnerable. Shancai, despite their rocky history, stays with him. As he drifts off, his head rests on her lap, and for the first time, we see a crack in his tough exterior, and in hers. It's a scene that's quiet yet loud with emotion, a turning point that plants the seeds of their epic romance. Why does the scene hit so hard? Let's break it down. First, there's the context. Shancai and Dao Mingxi's relationship is built on tension. She's the underdog, the weed, who refuses to be crushed, as she famously says in the Tagalog dubbed version. AKO ay parang isang damo na Kate ilong beses mong pichulin, I'm yielding to tubo at mabobuhay. I am like a blade of grass. No matter how many times you cut me down, I will grow back and live again. Dao Mingxi, on the other hand, is the quintessential rich boy, impulsive, entitled, but hiding a wounded heart. Their push and pull is the backbone of Meteor Garden, and this scene is where it starts to shift from animosity to something deeper. Think about a moment in your life when someone you clashed with showed a softer side. Did it change how you saw them? The setting itself is a character in this scene. The stairwell, cramped and dimly lit, feels like a cocoon, isolating them from the chaos of Ingda and F4's influence. The rain outside adds a layer of intimacy, forcing them to stay put. It's almost cinematic destiny. Two people who'd rather avoid each other are stuck together, with nowhere to hide. The sepia-toned cinematography, a hallmark of the 2001 series, bathes the scene in a nostalgic glow, making it feel like a memory even as you watch it. Can you picture it? The sound of rain, the flicker of a dying light bulb, the tension of two people who don't yet know they're falling for each other. What's a setting from a show or movie that stuck with you because it felt so real? Then there's the physicality of the moment. Dao Mingxi, usually all sharp edges and bravado, is reduced to a feverish, almost childlike state. When he collapses onto Shancai's lap, it's not just a plot device, it's a power shift. Shancai, who's been on the receiving end of his cruelty, becomes the caretaker. Barbie Sue's performance here is subtle but powerful. Her expression softens, her hands hesitate, unsure whether to push him away or let him stay. Jerry Yen, meanwhile, plays Dao Mingxi's vulnerability with just enough restraint to keep it believable. This moment humanizes him, showing us the boy beneath the bully. Have you ever seen someone you thought was tough break down in a way that surprised you? How did it change your perspective? The kilig factor, that Filipino term for the butterflies in your stomach thrill of romance, is off the charts here. It's not a kiss or a grand confession, but something quieter. The unspoken trust when Dao Mingxi lets his guard down and Shancai chooses to stay. It's the kind of moment that had fans screaming at their TVs, rewinding VHS tapes, or later, scouring YouTube for clips. In the Philippines, kilig is a cultural currency, and this scene delivered it in spades, sparking schoolyard debates about whether Shancai should pick Dao Mingxi or the soulful Hua Zele. Were you Team Dao Mingxi or Team Hua Zele back then? Or, if you're watching now, who's got your vote and why? Let's talk about Shancai's agency, because this is where Barbie Sue's portrayal shines. Shancai isn't a damsel waiting for rescue. Even in this tender moment, she's not just passively sitting there, she's making a choice. She could leave, could push him away, but she stays, showing the compassion that defines her. This aligns with why she became such an icon. She's not perfect, not rich, but she's tough and kind, a balance that made her relatable to millions. As one fan wrote, she stood up for herself even when life seemed unfair. Reflect on a time when you chose kindness over anger, even when it was hard. What drove that decision? The scene also sets up the love triangle that fueled so much of Meteor Garden's drama. Hua Zele, the quiet, brooding F4 member, is Shancai's initial crush, but this stairwell moment plants the flag for Dao Mingxi. It's a classic trope, the bad boy with the heart of gold versus the gentle, unattainable dream guy. Yet, the stairwell scene doesn't feel cliched because it's earned through their shared history of conflict. The slow build of their relationship, punctuated by moments like this, is why fans invested so heavily in their story. What's a love triangle in a show or book that had you torn? Did you root for the safe choice or the wild card? Culturally, this scene tapped into something bigger. In the Philippines, Meteor Garden wasn't just a show, it was a phenomenon. It introduced the Asian novela, reshaped pop culture, and set impossible boyfriend standards. Sorry, real-life guys. Kids mimicked Shancai's braids, teens blasted F4's Meteor Rain on repeat, and jeepneys echoed with, "Oh, baby, baby, baby." The stairwell scene, with its raw emotion, became a touchstone for fans, replayed in conversations, parodies, and even dreams of a Meteor Garden reunion. After Barbie Sue's passing in 2025, fans revisited this scene with renewed nostalgia, mourning not just her, but the era she represented. If you're a fan, how did Meteor Garden shape your view of love or friendship? If you're new, what about this scene makes it timeless? Now, let's get critical. Meteor Garden has its flaws, elements of misogyny, elitism, and toxic behavior, especially in Dao Mingxi's early bullying. The stairwell scene doesn't erase that, but it complicates it, showing his capacity for change. Some argue it romanticizes a problematic dynamic, others see it as the start of his redemption. What's your take? Does this scene justify Dao Mingxi's earlier actions? Or is it powerful because it contrasts them? The 2018 reboot, with Shin-yu as Shancai, reimagines this dynamic but keeps the spirit of her defiance. However, it tones down the bullying due to censorship, which some fans felt made Shancai's reactions less justified compared to the 2001 version. The original's raw edge, especially in scenes like the stairwell, hits harder because of its unfiltered intensity. If you've seen both versions, which Shancai resonates more with you? Why? Let's make this interactive. Imagine you're rewriting this scene. Would you keep the stairwell, the rain, the fever? Or would you set it somewhere else? Maybe a rooftop under a meteor shower, tying into the show's title? What would Shancai say or do to make this moment even more iconic? Share your vision, because Meteor Garden thrives on fans' imaginations. As we wrap up, the stairwell scene endures because it captures what Meteor Garden did best, blending raw emotion with larger-than-life drama. It's Shancai's strength, Dao Mingxi's vulnerability, and the spark of a love story that defined a generation. Whether you're revisiting it through a nostalgic lens or discovering it now, this moment invites you to feel, to remember, to dream. So, one last question. What's your favorite Meteor Garden moment, and why does it rival the stairwell scene? Share your thoughts, and let's keep the kilig alive.